Hello everyone, welcome back to Simulated Heaven. I'm going to do a slightly different video today. This is going to be my top 5 simulator or simulation games that I've ever played. Firstly, I'll say that I haven't played every game in the world. These are the top 5 out of the games that I have played. There might be games that I have missed out that you have played. You might not agree with my top 5. That's fine. That's how it goes in life. This is just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, it would be great if you could post that in the comment section down below. Okay, so here we go. This is my top 5 simulator games. Okay, so the first game that I would like to talk about, and I'll say straight off the bat, these games are not in any order, any particular order. It was hard enough for me to come up with the top 5 simulation or simulator games I've ever played. So to then rank that 1 to 5 effectively, it's kind of hard for me. Anyway, so the Arma series. I've played the Arma series, specifically Arma 2, Operation Arrowhead and Arma 3 for many hours. The games are not perfect. I know that some people will say that the engine is kind of janky, that some of the things you have to do in the game are kind of janky or glitchy, things like that. But for me, it's completely worth it because you can have some really epic experiences in Arma. You can work with other people, attack other players or an AI enemy in an organised way. You know, it's just, I mean, I have never been in the army. I don't know what it's like to really be in a military situation, but from a layman's point of view, I find the Arma series is a great simulation of a military experience, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. And also, the game actually covers a wide variety of areas. So you can be infantry, you can drive a tank, you can fly airplanes, you can fly helicopters, you can do all kinds of things. And when you group together with other people, like I said, it can be so epic, so amazing. Okay, I agree the flight model, for example, is not completely realistic. But for me, it's realistic enough. And altogether as a package, for me, it's a great military simulator. Then if you add into that the fact that the communities, the mod support that exists in the community, it makes the game so much more. You can find mods for so much in the game. You can find scenarios, so many scenarios that would last you forever that have been made by other players. You can find server mods. So there are so many server mods. Of course, the most famous one is DayZ, but there's lots of them, all kinds of different styles. You can also find maps that have been made by other players. Basically, you know, the mods that are available for this game add even more longevity. So for me, the Arma series is amazing. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it. Okay, so now I would like to talk about R-Factor 2. I thought for a long time about the racing simulator games that I have played over the years, and there are, you know, a number of them that I really like. Those of you that have watched my channel, you will know that I do really like Automobilista, for example. However, when I really thought about it, in my mind, R-Factor 2 is the number one for me. Now, I'm going to say this is the number one for offline racing because the handling, the way the car feels, and the tyre model, in my opinion, in R Factor 2 is number one. It's the best. The cars feel amazing. The way that you can feel through your steering wheel, the feedback, in my opinion, with the setup that I am using, R Factor 2 is amazing. Really, really amazing. I would highly recommend, if you haven't tried R Factor 2, that you should go out there and give it a go. It kind of got quite a lot of hate because R Factor 2 was in development for quite a long time. At some points it seemed a bit slow, but still, in my opinion, R Factor 2 for a racing simulator is amazing. Now, I said earlier offline because I'd like to add a bit of a caveat. If you really like the online racing, if online racing is the number one thing you want to do, in my opinion, if you want a full simulation experience online, I would go with iRacing. Now, iRacing is not a perfect service. Some of their content is looking slightly dated. They do have a really good tyre model, but it's not always perfect. You know, if you compare with R Factor 2, I do actually prefer the way that R Factor 2 feels, in my opinion, again. But if you like the online side of racing, then iRacing, there's nowhere else, in my opinion, that you can find such well organized online racing. The way that the safety rating and the licenses and the way you have to work up through the different racing levels, the way that works is so well organized. It's such a smooth experience. It kind of makes you feel like more of a professional racing driver, but in a game. In my opinion, it just is really well organized. You're never going to find that. I've never seen any other game that has been able to organize that as well. Okay, with R Factor 2 and Assetto Corsa and other things like that, there are third-party websites where they will organize that kind of thing. But in my opinion, iRacing is great because it has it all in one place. So, there you go. R Factor 2, love it. But if you like the online, then I would go for iRacing. Okay, so the next game that I would like to talk about is the Truck Simulator games by SCS Software. I played UK Truck Simulator many years ago. In fact, that was one of the first games that I ever streamed. And I then moved on to Euro Truck Simulator 2. That game, when it first came out, was amazing. They basically put so much effort into that game that if that game had not been a commercial success, I reckon they probably would have gone bankrupt, right? So they really did go over and above to make that game the best that they could, and I really, really enjoy it. They then followed it up with American Truck Simulator, and again, very fun game, very, very similar, but it's in an American environment. What I usually enjoy with this game is I will just cruise around. They have an in-game radio station thing where you can stream radio stations from within the game. I usually find an 80s one, or maybe a country music one if I'm on American Truck Simulator. And then I'll just cruise around, and you can spend hours just cruising around. I really, really enjoy that. Now, this game has got awesome mod support, and this adds so much more to the game. You can basically tailor this game exactly how you like it. You can add the new truck liveries, you can add new trailers, new cargo, you can change all of the companies in the game into real companies, you can add a sound mod so that the engines and other things sound more realistic. There are really awesome map mods out there that basically increase the scope of the maps. So you can basically look through all of these mods and you can basically tailor this game exactly how you would like it, and that really increases the longevity of the game for me. I also like the way that SCS have developed these games. They don't try to bring out the next game very quickly. They make sure that they've worked hard on their games. They update their games regularly. Euro Truck Simulator 2 is years old now, but they still regularly update that game, and they will bring out map DLC that, in my opinion, is high quality and it's reasonably priced, in my opinion, again. So all in all, the truck simulators from SCS Software, specifically American Truck Simulator and European Truck Simulator 2, I think are amazing. I would like to talk about the flight simulator game that I really like. Now, I would say that this is quite a personal thing. Some people swear by one of the flight simulators, other people swear by the other ones, but for me, I really like the XPlane series of flight simulators. Now, it doesn't have quite the amount of third-party content. I suppose I would say straight out of the gate, when you have the vanilla version of XPlane, especially with XPlane 11, in my opinion, that is the best flight simulator that you can run in a vanilla form and still have a lot of really good content. The vanilla airplanes and the vanilla scenery is pretty decent, and they're always improving it. This is a game that is actively developed. This is a game which is worked on a lot, always improved. I have tried other flight simulators like Prepared. I think that Prepared is good, but I just really like the flight model in XPlane. I just really like the way that the airplanes feel. I have never flown an airplane in real life, of course, so I don't know what that really feels like, but for me, I just really like how the airplanes feel in XPlane. And like I said, there's not as much third-party content like add-on airplanes and scenery, but that is improving, and especially with XPlane 11, it seems like they're moving in the right direction. So there you go. In my opinion, if you like flight simulators, you should certainly have a look at XPlane. Okay, last but not least, I would like to talk about the Football Manager series. Now, I've been playing these games for many years. I played them originally when I was at university many years ago, when they were called Championship Manager, and I have been playing them ever since, right up until now, where it's called Football Manager. Now, I'm from England. I do really like football, so it's kind of a no-brainer really. But I just really enjoy the fact that you can micromanage every minor detail of managing a football team. And that feeling of tweaking so many things, taking a team, making them very successful, that feeling is amazing, really amazing, you know. And you will literally sit and watch a game and cheer when the goals fly in, or be absolutely gutted when your opponents score. And it's hyper addictive. You spend much more time in the game than you thought that you would. It has that one more game feeling where you think just one more game, and before you know it, many hours have passed. One thing I would say though is that Football Manager these days, they always update the game. They have a new version of the game every single year. Now for me, I don't like to buy the game every year because I feel that usually the upgrades are quite incremental. So you can either skip a year or wait until the game is on sale. That's what I do anyway. But Football Manager, you can't really deny it. It's the best football simulation game out there, in my humble opinion. Okay, thank you for watching my top 5 simulation games video. Like I said at the beginning, you might not agree with that, so if you have other ideas, please leave your comments, your top 5, in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.